Another federal minister has been ensnared in the citizenship scandal, with a newspaper report drawing an angry rebuke from the Prime Minister. Josh Frydenberg's mother escaped a Jewish ghetto in Hungary after World War II, and he's labelled the suggestion he's a dual citizen absurd. Here's political editor Andrew Probin.
Just days ago, Josh Frydenberg was in Jerusalem, reflecting on his Jewish heritage.
The Holocaust was not just a crime against the Jewish people, it was a crime against humanity.
His mother, Erica, her sisters and parents were lucky, escaping the Budapest ghettos.
That's where the fascists had pushed all the Jews in together as a prelude to sending them to the gas chamber.
After time in a displaced persons camp, they made their way to Australia in 1950. Their nationality was marked stateless on immigration papers, which Josh Frydenberg says renders ridiculous claims in the Australian newspaper that he's a Hungarian citizen.
It is completely absurd to think that retrospectively and against her will, she could be made to be a Hungarian citizen and that would flow through to me.
We are not going to have politicians, members and senators tried by innuendo and smear.
I think we're actually getting into pretty disturbing territory now. I mean, these people, like many millions, fled the Holocaust.
But while both sides agree there, Labor smells a cover-up as to how many in government knew of the citizenship doubts that forced this week's resignation of Senate President Stephen Parry. This follows the ABC's revelation yesterday that Mr Parry confided his concerns months ago to Cabinet Minister Mitch Fifield and other frontbenchers.
It is not credible that the Attorney-General or the Prime Minister didn't know.
Any such suggestions are absolutely false.
I wasn't party to any conversation, so I can't speak about it.
The calls for an audit of every parliamentarian's eligibility persist.
This has now become a festering sore for the government. We can't talk about anything else. We need to get this resolved.
There'll be no audit while Malcolm Turnbull is leader. With no majority to speak of, he simply can't afford anyone to slip off their parliamentary perch. Labor is proposing a system of universal disclosure, but that hardly helps him. For Malcolm Turnbull, getting to Christmas intact while talking about things that really matter to people is absolutely essential. Andrew Probin, ABC News, Canberra.